Welcome to AffairsCloud. My name is Vikas Rana. We are one-stop solution for current affairs. You can find Crack Current Affairs course on our application exclusively for current affairs, where you will get daily, weekly, monthly content on regular basis. Use the code Vikas10 and get 10% additional discount while purchasing the course. Also, students, follow us on Telegram and Instagram. The link for the same are mentioned in our description. This video has both English and Hindi. The first part is English and second part is Hindi. Timestamps are mentioned in the description below. Hello students, how are you all? I hope you are all good. So students, in this video we will be discussing important current affairs for the topic important days for April month. Session will be quite interesting and important, so stay tuned with us till the end. Let's start. On which date is the International Transgender Day of Visibility annually observed across the globe to celebrate the courage, resilience and contributions of transgender, non-binary and non-gender conforming persons? It is observed on 31st of March. This day is observed to increase awareness about the poverty, discrimination and the violence that are faced by the transgender communities. Next, on which day United Nations World Autism Awareness Day is observed annually to raise awareness about ASD, autism spectrum disorder, and advocate for the rights and inclusion of autistic individuals. It is 2nd of April we observe this day. This year it was the 18th edition that we observed. Next, whose birth anniversary is commemorated on International Children's Book Day observed on 2nd April? It is Hans Christian Andersen's. Right, he is also known as the father of modern fantasy. Next, when is the Raising Day of the Army Medical Corps observed every year to honor the founding of the AMC in 1764? It is 3rd April. Right, and this year it was 261st Raising Day of the Army Medical Corps. Next, on which day UN International Day for Mine Awareness and Assistance in Mine Action is observed annually? It is 4th of April we observe this day. Right, and there is a theme also, that is Safe Future Starts Here. Next, on 5th April, India commemorated dash edition of the National Maritime Day to recognize the vital contribution of its maritime industry to international trade and economic growth. It is the 62nd edition of the National Maritime Day that was observed, right, on 5th of April. Next, on which day UN International Day of Conscience observed globally to promote a culture of peace and ethic responsibility? It is 5th of April we observe this day. And this year it was the 6th edition of this day. Next, dash anniversary of the UN International Day of Sports for Development and Peace observed recently on 6th of April. It is the 12th anniversary of the UN International Day of Sports for Development and Peace. And there is a theme, leveling the playing field, sports for social inclusion. I repeat, theme being leveling the playing field, sport for social inclusion. Next, on which date is the International Day of Reflection on the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda observed globally every year? It is observed on 7th of April and this is the 31st anniversary in 2025. Next, what is the theme of the 77th anniversary of UN World Health Day observed on 7th of April? Theme being Healthy Beginnings, Hopeful Future. Next, when is the Prevention of Blindness Week observed annually by the Government of India? It is from 1st to 7th of April we observe this Prevention of the Blindness Week. Next, on which date is the International Romani Day observed annually to celebrate Romani culture and raise awareness about the social, political and economic issues faced by the Roma community? It is 8th of April we observe this day. Next, on which date is the CRPF Valor Day, also known as Shaurya Divas, observed annually across India to commemorate the bravery of CRPF personnel during the 1965 Battle of Sardar Post in Gujarat? It is 9th of April we observe this day and it is the 60th anniversary. Next, on celebrating the legacy of Dr. Christian Frederick Samuel Heyman, when is World Homeopathy Day observed? It is 10th of April we observe the World Homeopathy Day. Right? Next, National Safe Motherhood Day observed annually on 11th of April to emphasize the importance of maternal health care promote safe delivery practices, and reduce maternal mortality rates. This day coincides with the birth anniversary of whom? It coincides with the birth anniversary of Kasturba Gandhi, the wife of Mahatma Gandhi. Next, each year, when is the World Parkinson's Day observed globally? This Parkinson's, it is a disease. It is a chronic degenerative disorder of the central nervous system. We observe this day on 11th of April every year. Next, when is UN International Day of Human Spaceflight observed to celebrate the beginning of space era for mankind? So when do we observe this day? This day is observed on 12th of April. Next is the International Day for Street Children is annually observed across the world on 12th of April to raise awareness about the challenges that are faced by the millions of the children living on the streets globally. What is the theme of this day? Theme being partition. Participation, not partition, participation. Next, every year Siachen Day is observed by Indian Army on 13th of April to commemorate the Operation Meghdut, right? And this Operation Meghdut took place on 13th of April, right? And this year it is 41st anniversary of this Operation Meghdut. Next, on 13th April, it marks the 106th anniversary of Jallianwala Bagh massacre, which took place in Amritsar, Punjab in 1919. Next, when is the World Chagas Disease Day observed every year to spread awareness about Chagas disease, a neglected tropical disease? So 14th of April is observed as the World Chagas Disease Day. It is for Chagas disease, that is a NTD, that is neglected tropical disease. Next, every year National Fire Service Day is observed on 14th of April in India to pay tribute to the brave firefighters who lost their lives in the line of duty, specifically during the Bombay dock explosion of 1944. So the year is being asked, it is in 1944. And this Fire Service Week is observed from 14th to 20th of April, and day it is observed on 14th of April. Next, on the occasion of the World Quantum Day observed on 14th of April, Q New Labs, a quantum cybersecurity startup incubated at IIT Madras, Tamil Nadu, they have launched Q Shield, right? This is the first unique platform for seamless cryptography management across cloud, on-premises and hybrid environments. Next, every year on what date is the World Art Day observed globally to strengthen the connection between the artistic creations and society and promote awareness of disease artistic expressions? It is 15th of April we observe this day, and the theme here is DNA, that is Do No Algorithm. Next, every year, when is the World Hemophilia Day observed across the globe to raise awareness about hemophilia, a rare inherited bleeding disorder and other related disorders that affects the blood's ability to clot? So, when do we observe this World Hemophilia Day? It is 17th of April we observe this day. Next, when is your World Liver Day observed across the globe to create awareness about the importance of liver health and promote actions towards the prevention and management of liver-related disease? We observe this day on 19th of April, right? And theme here is food is medicine. Next, every year when is World Liver Day observed across the globe? So World Liver Day is observed across the globe. When do we observe this day? World Liver Day. Tell me. It is 19th of April we observe this World Liver Day. Right? I correct myself, students. Yes, it is World Liver Day, right? This question has been repeated again, so take a note of it. Next is the United Nations Chinese Language Day is observed across the globe to promote multilingualism, cultural diversity and the equal use of how many official languages of UN? So it is 6 official languages, and Chinese Language Day observed on 20th of April. Next, every year, when is World Creativity and Innovation Day observed to raise global awareness about the importance of creativity and innovation in fostering human development and achieving sustainable growth? So, when do we observe World Creativity and Innovation Day? It is 21st of April we observe this day. Next is every year when is International Mother Earth Day or Earth Day observed? It is 22nd of April we observe this day, and there is a theme for this year, theme being Our Power, Our Planet. Next, World Book and Copyright Day is observed annually across the world on 23rd April to promote the enjoyment of books and reading. Question is, mention the city that was designated as the World Book Capital for 2025 by World Book Capital Advisory Committee. So it is Rio de Janeiro, right? This was designated as the World Book Capital for 2025 by UNESCO. Next, every year when is UN English Language Day observed? Earlier we saw it was UN Chinese Language Day, right? UN Chinese Language Day on 20th of April. Now we are asking is every year when is UN English Language Day observed? It is 23rd of April we observe this day, and first time it was observed in 2010. Then next is Administrative Professionals Day or Secretaries Day, Admin Day or Administrative Assistant Day, observed on 23rd of April. Question is, this day is observed annually across the globe when it is on the Wednesday of the full week of April to honor the secretaries. Right, that is the last Wednesday we observe this day. Next, International Girls in ICT Day was observed on 24th of April. The day also observed across the globe on 4th of dash on 4th Thursday of April every year. We observe this day to encourage women, girls to pursue careers in the field of information and communication technology. Next is World Malaria Day. When do we observe World Malaria Day? World Malaria Day is observed every year on 25th of April, right? It is to raise awareness about malaria disease, right? And also the prevention related to it. Question asked here is, malaria is caused by which of the following organisms transmitted through the bite of infected female Anopheles mosquito? So we know that malaria is caused by mosquito, right? By the bite of mosquito. Your question is to tell me that this day is or this is caused by which organism when it is transferred. So it is caused by Plasmodium parasite that is transferred from the bite of the Anopheles mosquito. Next, every year World Penguin Day is observed across the globe to raise awareness, environmental struggles and conservation for their survival. When do we observe World Penguin Day? On 25th of April we observe this day. Next, when is the International Chernobyl Disaster Remembrance Day observed? To honor the victims and survivors every year. So we observe this day on 26th of April. Next, students, these were your important current affairs, one important days. Now let's move to the revision part that will be beneficial for your learning. What is the theme for the United Nations Zero Discrimination Day observed on 1st of March to promote equality, inclusion, peace and diversity? It is We Stand Together. This is the theme here for United Nations Zero Discrimination Day. Correct? We stand together. And this year it was the 11th edition of this day that was observed. Next, World Civil Defense Day is observed every year on 1st of March to spread awareness about civil defense and their importance in protecting people during emergencies. Right, this year it was the 36th edition of this day that was observed with the theme Civil Defense Guarantee for Security for the Population. Next, World Seagrass Day is observed every year on 1st of March to highlight the importance of seagrasses in marine biodiversity and climate change mitigation. The year 2025, it marks the dash observance of the World Seagrass Day. It was the third observance of the World Seagrass Day that was observed. Next is India celebrates Civil Accounts Day every year on 1st of March to mark the establishment of Indian Civil Accounts Service. In which year was the ICAS established? It was in 1976 that this ICAS was established. Next, United Nations World Wildlife Day is observed annually on 3rd March to raise awareness about the world wildlife animals and plants. The day 3rd March it was chosen to commemorate the adoption of the dash in 1973. It was for the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wildlife, Fauna and Flora. Next, on which date is World Hearing Day observed annually to raise awareness about the hearing loss? It is 3rd of March we observed World Hearing Day. Right, and this time it was the 19th edition of the World Hearing Day that was observed. Next, National Security Day is observed annually on 4th of March in India to recognize the efforts of security forces. The day also marks the establishment of dash in 1966. It is the National Safety Council. Next, on which date is World Day Against Sexual Exploitation observed globally each year? It is 4th of March we observe World Day Against Sexual Exploitation. Next, every year on 4th March, India observes National Safety Day, National Safety Week campaign to emphasize workplace safety and accident prevention. This year, it marks the death observance of this National Safety Day. It was the 54th edition of the observance of this National Safety Day, and this week, that is National Safety Week, it is observed from 4th to 10th of March. Next, on 4th March, the 11th World Obesity Day was observed worldwide to combat the global obesity crisis. What is the theme of the World Obesity Day observed? Theme being Changing Systems, Healthier Lives. And this time it was the 11th edition of this day that was observed. Next, on which date is UNESCO's World Engineering Day for Sustainable Development observed annually? It is 3rd of March we observe this United Nations World Engineering Day. I correct myself. When do we observe World Engineering Day? World Engineering Day is observed on not 3rd but 4th of March. Right? And this time it was the 6th edition of this day that was observed. Then is your United Nations International Day for Disarmament and Non-Proliferation Awareness observed across the globe on 5th of March. This year it marks the death observance of this day. It marks the 3rd observance of this day. Next, on which date is Jan Aushadhi Divas, that is Generic Medicine Day, observed annually across the globe to raise awareness about the importance of generic medicines and the benefits of Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana. It is 7th of March we observe this Jan Aushadhi Divas. Next is United Nations International Women's Day is annually observed across the globe on 8th of March. What is the theme for this International Women's Day? Theme being for all. Theme is for all women and girls rights, equality and empowerment. Right? Take a note of it. Next, on which date is United Nations International Day of Women Judges observed across the globe? So, when do we observe this day? It is observed on 10th of March. Right? And this is the 4th time that we are observing this day. Next, 10th of March, it marks the dash observance of CISF Raising Day that honors the commitment and service of their personals. So it is the 56th edition of the CISF Day that was observed on 10th of March. Next, on which day is World Kidney Day observed annually to raise awareness about kidney health and advocate for equitable access to healthcare. So on which day World Kidney Day is observed? It is the second Thursday of March month we observe World Kidney Day. Next, World Road Track Day is observed annually across the globe on 13th of March to honor the contributions of road tractors. The year 2025, it marks the 57th observance of this day. And this World Road Track Week is observed also from 10th to 16th of March. Next is International Day of Mathematics observed annually on 14th of March across the globe to highlight the significance of mathematics in various fields. Who serves as the International Day of Mathematics Ambassador for India? So it is Professor Anita Rampal, right? Honored as the here recently served as the National IDM, that is International Day of Mathematics Ambassador for India. Next, International Day of Action for Rivers is observed every year on 14th of March to highlight the crucial role of rivers in sustaining ecosystems and human life. What is the theme of the International Day of Action for Rivers 2025? Theme being Our Rivers, Our Future. And this is the 28th edition of this day that was observed. Next is World Consumers' Rights Day is celebrated on 15th of March. It is to promote awareness about the consumer rights, protection and empowerment. Which of the following is not one of the four fundamental consumer rights articulated by former US President John F. Kennedy in 1962? Right? Among the following, which is not? It is your right to education. Right? Is not one of the four fundamental consumer rights articulated by former US President John F. Kennedy in 1962. Next, on which date is International Day to Combat Islamophobia observed annually across the globe? It is 15th of March we observe this day. Next, World Sleep Day is annually observed across the globe on the Friday before spring vernal equinox. On which day is this World Sleep Day observed? It is 14th of March we observe this day, right? And this day is observed across the globe on the Friday before spring vernal equinox. And this is the 18th annual sleep day that was observed. Next, National Vaccination Day, also known as National Immunization Day, is annually observed across India on 16th of March. When does National Vaccination Day commemorate the first dose of the oral polio vaccine administered in India? So when do we observe it? It was in 1995, right? First dose of the OPV, oral polio vaccine. Next, on 18th of March, Ordnance Factory Day is observed to mark the establishment of the first ordnance factory in India, right? At this will be at Kolkata, West Bengal. Next, on which date is Global Recycling Day observed annually to promote the importance of recycling and environmental protection? It is 18th of March we observe this day, and it is the 8th edition of this day that was observed. Next, on which date is the United Nations French Language Day observed annually to promote multilingualism and cultural diversity? So, on which date is United Nations French Language Day observed? It is observed on 20th of March. Next, World Day of Theatre for Children and Young People is observed annually across the globe on dash to raise awareness about the value of theatre in young lives and communities. So, a World Day of Theatre across the globe on when do we observe this day? It is 20th of March we observe this day. And World Performance Week observed from 20 to 27th of March. Next, on what date is UN International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination observed annually to raise awareness about the racism and exclusion? So, when do we observe this day? On 21st of March. Next is United Nations World Poetry Day is observed globally on 21st March to promote linguistic diversity and preserve endangered languages through poetry. The year 2025, it marks the dash observance of the World Poetry Day. It is the 26th observance of the World Poetry Day. Next, in April, ACC appointed Poonam Gupta as the Deputy Governor of RBI for the tenure of how many years? Right? So she has been appointed as the Deputy Governor, one of the 4 Deputy Governors for the next 3 years. Next, Sarhul Festival celebrated on Tuesday on 1st of April to welcome the spring and mark the new year for Adivasi communities is recognized as a public holiday in which Indian state? So this Sarhul Festival is generally observed in Jharkhand, and this 1st of April is observed as a public holiday in Jharkhand state. Next, the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy announced the record-breaking addition of how much amount of gigawatt of renewable energy capacity in FY25? So it was 25 gigawatts. Next is SEBI. They extended the deadline for implementing the retail algorithmic trading regulations from 1st of April to which date? And this is for retail investors. So this date has been extended from 1st of April to what? It has been extended to 1st of August 2025. Take a note of this, important students. Next, SBI and Citibank, they have announced a $295 million social loan facility to provide financial support to dash in India. This is to provide financial support to the farmers in India. Next, who has been appointed as the new president of India Energy Storage Alliance on 1st of April, replacing Dr. Rahul Valavalkar. Demalya Sen has been appointed as the new president of India Energy Storage Alliance on 1st of April, replacing Dr. Rahul Valavalkar. Next, in 2025, India's Project Tiger, launched by the Government of India to protect the country's tiger population, has successfully completed how many years? 52. This Project Tiger was launched in 1973. Next, pick out the incorrect pair from GI tagged products with their respective states as granted by DPIIT. If we look at the following, here we have to find the one right incorrect one. So among the following, all are right. Telangana Shikara is wrong here, right? This GI tag, that is this product for Telangana, it is not Shikara, it is Chapat Chili. Chapat Chili. Next, in April, Ministry of Defence approved the use of Adilabad airfield for civil aircraft operation. The airfield is located in which state? The airfield is located in the state of Telangana. Take a note of it. Next, under whose presidency was the 11th BRICS Environment Ministers meeting held from 3rd to 4th of April, with the Indian delegation led by Amandeep Garg, the additional secretary of the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. So under whose presidency? It was under the presidency of Brazil, right? This 11th BRICS summit, or as of now, the presidency of BRICS is with Brazil. Earlier it was with Russia and it was held in Kazan. Next, RBI granted the NBFC license to dash in April 2025. So RBI granted the NBFC license to Securus Finance Private Limited. Next, in April, who was appointed as the new chairman of the Asian Cricket Council during the ACC's annual general meeting? So who was granted? Syed Mohsin Raza Naqvi was granted or was appointed as the new chairman of Asian Cricket Council. Next is, which company in India recently signed $253.6 million agreement with Hanwha Aerospace Company Limited of South Korea to export components of K9 Vajra T-tank to the Indian Army? It is L&T, Larsen and Toubro Limited. Next is, who was or who has assumed the charge as the chairperson of the Spices Board, which operates under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry? So who has been appointed here? Sangeeta Vishwanathan has recently been appointed as the chairperson of Spices Board. Next, which regional rural bank became the first among the 43 regional rural banks in India to implement the e-bank guarantee service in partnership with National E-Governance Service Limited in April? So which regional rural bank? It is your Karnataka Vikas Gramin Bank. Take a note of these, students. All these questions are very important, so do pay attention to them. Moving on. Next, in April, Stand Up India scheme completed 9 years of successful implementation. Pick out the incorrect statement among the following. If we look at the options, all these three options are rightly mentioned. Is it so? No. Among the following, we have to find the incorrect statement. Only B and C are right. A is wrong. A is saying that the nodal agency for the scheme is National Small Industries Corporation. Is it so? No. The nodal industry or the nodal agency for this scheme, that is Stand Up India scheme, is Ministry of Finance, right? And SIDBI. Moving on. Next, in April, GI registry under DPIIT has granted GI tag to 7 or more products from West Bengal. Right? Among the following, identify the odd one out from GI products based on their product category. If we look at the options here, we have to find the odd one out, right? All are right, but Karampur's white bond is for textile. This is wrongly mentioned here. Correct? Take a note of it. Right? Here we have find the odd one out, right? Based on their categories. All are right, but Karampur's white bond related to textile is the odd one out here. Correct? Because this is not a textile, it is your agriculture, or we can say this is a traditional sweet. This comes under not textile but traditional sweets category. Next, which private sector bank in India, along with IFSC unit of IDFC First Bank and Stock Holding Security IFSC Limited, was among the first entities to be designated as a corporate agent in the GIFT IFSC in April 2025? It is your HDFC Bank, right? Which private sector bank? It is your HDFC Bank.